Hey everybody, this is Herschel from High School Top 200, and this Aorere College review for 2016 is brought to you by Fineline Barbers. What my boy Vinnie from Fineline Barbers is doing is that he has gone together with a major barbering supplier, and they are putting on an Aotearoa barber competition for 2017. In September next year, 2017, they're going to be holding it here in Hamilton. It's going to be a one-day event. From now, you can put up. They've got a Facebook page and also an Instagram page for barbers to upload their work, and so that we as a public can go on and see the talented barbers that we have around the country. There's going to be a lot of vendors there. There's going to be a lot of barbershops there, and they're going to be able to come together and then show us what this barbering is all about, and then show us the culture of barbering. And so it's going to be a real good opportunity for us as a public to also see what we have here in New Zealand. So remember that for 2017, Fineline Barbers is putting on the Aotearoa Barber Competition, so keep an eye out for that. Aorere College is one of my favourite teams to go watch. I really like the school, and it's not just because there's a whole bunch of Polynesians there, but I like the fact that they're kind of like De La Salle College, where they have so much talent, so little resources, and then they still manage to punch above their weight, kind of thing. This is always going to be a school that's probably going to be taken from, where kids are going to be recruited from, and you just can't help that kind of stuff. That's just the kind of stuff that happens, and that's sort of the industry that we're in right now, is that schools like this, who are just really rich in talent, are just not so rich in cash. But that's kind of how it goes. So this year, and I went and saw their game against New Plymouth Boys in the preseason, and I was really there to watch Albert Ngata. Sonny was another one I wanted to go and watch. JJ and JP were other guys that I wanted to watch as well, and that I've heard of, and I thought, okay, I'll go and have a look. And the game kind of ended and kind of went. It went a bit sour because they had a yellow card and a red card in the centers, and it was. And I got to hand it to Aorere because they were playing a nationally ranked team. New Plymouth Boys didn't really show up, and they could have lost that game. Aorere came out blazing. Albert, Sone, and Jack Siaki at number 8, they all had really good games. JP Natoko had a good game too. James and JJ had good games until they got sent off, and it was just hard tackling. Like, I think one of them was, I think it was James's one was deserved the yellow card. The other one didn't, and the other one was more about retaliation. But then I also saw, and this was cool. Like, this is cool when I go and see these games, because I always find different players. It's the first time I saw Mosese Peppa there as well, and Moses Senior as well. Moses is going to be a good player too. One of my guys to watch out for next year. And so, like, there's always going to be a lot of talent. Sonia, I thought, was a bit unlucky to make the Barbarians. I thought he had enough. I thought he matched up well with the other hookers that were there. But the hookers this year was just a really stacked position where there was so many good players, and so he ended up missing out. But Sonia is definitely a player to look out for, and he won't be playing blindside. He will be playing hooker. That's just kind of how the transition works. He's probably a bit short to move into blindside and club rugby and on to the next level from there on. So hooker is probably his best position. But yeah, they had a good year. Like, I think that they're gonna. I think they're going to be a school that's alright. I think they're going to stay. I think they'll be in 1A for a while, but that's just as long as they keep As long as they keep that standard up that they have right now, and they keep working towards having a game plan that fits the players that they have there, as well as a game plan that works in the 1A, because that's what it's going to come down to, is that the 1A is going to be where they're going to have to prove that their system works, their development works, as well as their players work. Individual players is going to be a big one for them, and they're going to have to get as much individual players in there as possible, or at least show that they can compete with all the other big schools around the 1A. No doubt if Aorere was playing maybe in the UC Cup or the CNI or even the Wellington competition, that they would be probably top 4 teams, because that's how good the school is and how strong the 1A is. And that's why I kept them within the top 50 for so long, and they never fell out, is because they had so much other competition to play against. Their record doesn't look like much, but then it's the games in which they played, and I thought that they did well. I mean, playing St. Kitts, they lost against St. Kitts. They lost against all the big major schools, but they didn't do so bad. I think Kelson was probably their worst loss, because they didn't score points and they should have been more competitive. They brought St. Peter's close, 16-6. Even against De La Salle and even Sacred Heart 22-6. Like, these aren't big massive losses. Not in the 1A. These are like really close ones, and so like it's hard for other people just to look at that record and be like, oh well, they don't deserve to be there. Only won 3 games. It's like, yeah, but throughout the whole year they've got 6 teams or 5 teams that are ranked in the top, in the top 25, and 4 of those teams are in the top 10. It's just like, so their competition is going to be way harder than what you're playing every week, and so that's the argument here. And then when it comes to rankings, is that the strength of your schedule would really would like just override what the strength of your record. So it's more about how many good teams you play against, how close you come to beating them, or if you beat them or not, and that's kind of how it weighs up. And so like that's the reason why then they're such a talented team, big, strong. They went to the top 4. They did great, winning their first game and going into the finals, and Fielding is just one of those better teams in the country as well. So, losing to them, to me, wasn't really that much of a surprise. I just knew that they would, but I mean, it's just funny that, and it's funny, like, I don't mean to get on this player, and I think the boys will probably know what I'm talking about, but the games that I have seen him in, he is always sat for a yellow card for fighting, and it's just him all the time, and it's funny because like it's I don't know if he just wants to be a boxer or he just doesn't know how to control himself, but he's not like really over aggressive. It's just like real subtle kind of aggressive jabs or things like that, and then even when other players trying to get in his face, he doesn't even look that angry at them, and it's just funny to me. So like, I don't know, the players might get who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say his name. I'm not really going to out him or anything like that. But I just thought it was funny because even he's a good player too. I think he's a pretty solid player. But I think this Aorere team is gonna be better. I think once they find their system that they want to run and find that development program that they want to run through the players, getting them through the under 15s, 16s, and second 15s, and all the way through, that it will, once their system is set and they know it works, and it's something that's going to work within the 1A competition, and their players get developed individually as well, sort of them handing them through the system of Auckland, it's going to show how good the school actually is, and that the school is worth is going to be worth playing and having a look at year in, year out. Aorere is a team that I really like, and I'm going to go see them more next year. Please, someone from that school who has made it through, or has some money, or someone who sponsors them, get a designer to design their jerseys. Honestly, there's got to be someone out there that knows how to do a better design with those colors. I don't know how they chose those colors, but someone go in there and design them. Someone sponsor them some new jerseys or something like that, or an alternative one that doesn't look like that. I like this school, but honestly, that's got to be the worst uniform I've ever seen. This is my review for 2016 of Aorere. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.